So students, our chapter is chapter number 4 and Indian freedom movement and national awakening in Assam. So I have already started the explanation of the chapter. But since then there are 2 or 3, how many of you are new today? 1, 2, okay, 3 and then next is 4. So since then that I have already started the explanation of the chapter, but for the short revision I will just tell you like a story, like a summary. Okay, what I have taught in the last class, and I will start. You see, in the Balbishik nation of Assam, what happened? That you know what is Yandabu Treaty? Why it is called Yandabu Treaty? The Treaty of Yandabu. Do you have any knowledge of Yandabu Treaty? I told in the last class also about the whole story of the Yandabu Treaty. Did you remember anyone? Okay, let me tell you the story from very fast. King Purandar Singha was the Bura Gohai. Okay, the Purandar Singha was the Bura Gohai of Assam, and Kuladhar Soikia was his supporter, you can say. Okay, who was helping him. He was the mantri. Okay, then the responsibility of the king Purandar Singha was to see the whole part of the Assam, whereas the King Purandar Singha cannot see the whole part of Assam in a single hand. As you know, the power gets distributed. For this reason, some responsibility was given to the King Kuladhar Soikia. When King Kuladhar Soikia got the responsibility, he misused the responsibility. What he did, he collected the revenue taxes in a high amount and he used to give to the Burmese king. As a good result, he used to give. It was a very good relationship he used to give. Because what he was expecting, that he will kill Purandar Singha and he will be the throne king. Understood or not? That he will become king, he will take the place of Purandar Singha. Means the power, this one, you can say, there was somewhere, you can say the concept of power was there. Means more power he wanted. Yes or no? He wanted more power. But you see, whatever he wanted, that he wanted more power, this thing Purandar Singha came to know. Purandar Bura Gohai. Purandar Bura Gohai came to know about the concept of the Kuladhar Soikia. And as a result, there was a revolt. And King Kuladhar Soikia flew away. He was running away. Understood or not? And went and asked the Burmese king that help me. Because Purandar will kill me now. Understood or not? Then the Burmese king only gave the idea that you have a daughter and he has a son. So if both of them they will get married, then there will be no conflict. Will be the relative. The same thing happened. Did you understand? I am saying the story in the very short. The same thing happened, and as a result, both became the relative. Understood? They both became the relative, and at last there was a mutual understanding. There was a very nice friendship between the Kuladhar and the Purandar once again. What happened? The responsibility of the Kamrup district was given to the Kuladhar Soikia. Understood? He was looking the whole Brahmaputra, that part of the Brahmaputra and the Kamrup district. When he got the responsibility of the Kamrup district, he started to raise the revenue at the high amount. Did you understand? He got the revenue at the high amount. He used to impose the taxes on the people. He used to take the gift from the people. And he used to receive the gift and he used to give the gift to the Burmese king. Understood or not? This thing, Purandar Bura Gohai came to know about this. When Purandar came to know about this, then as he knew about this, then he started the conflict. A war was there. Now again, Kuladhar Soikia is running away from the throne. He went first to the Britishers and asked help. That you help me, otherwise Purandar will kill me. Then the Britishers told that if don't be in this way. Sinha told that you help me. Did you understand? Then what happened? That that the Britishers told that if I am going to help you, understood? There is a no, you can say there is a no way to help, because King Purandar is a very good king. He is a very nice ruler. His ruler has a his rule has a very good impact on Assam. Did you understand? He is a very good and very nice. We cannot go against King Purandar. He denied, means the Britishers denied to go against King Purandar and give protection to the Kuladhar Saikia. Somewhere the Britishers were feared of King Purandar Puragar. Understood? Because he feared that if king will be like, if I give protection to the Purandar, then what will happen? That we will be also in danger. Then we need to move away. We need to go from here. Understood? At last, what happened? He went to the Burmese, Burma people. The Burma people helped him. He stayed in Burma. That is, you know, that Myanmar. Yes, he stayed in the Myanmar. He stayed in the Burma, and the Burma king took the opportunity to do war with the Purandar. The first revolt was there. In that first revolt, Purandar became very weak. Okay, he became very weak. Next, again there was a war. Did you understand? There was a war. In that war, Purandar lost the war. When the Purandar lost the war, then he became weak and he thought that how can I lose the war? How can it happen with me? In that week he died. When he was dead, now who will sit on the throne? The Burmese king. But in that throne, you can say that Kuladhar sat on the throne. But who was the real ruler? Burmese king was the real ruler. Now Burmese king is ruling all over the part of Assam. After years went away. Now Burmese king and the Kuladhar has given idea. Kuladhar has given idea to the Burmese king that we should increase the areas. The Gwalpara district, West Bengal, these all parts should come in us, where Britishers are ruling. One day we will rule whole part of India. Did you understand? Now the power, they want to increase their power. Understood or not? Slowly they started to increase their area. They went to the Gwalpara district, West Bengal, they went. Understood? As they stepped into the West Bengal area, the Britishers came to know that Kuladhar Sinha and the Burmese king is doing something with us. We should go against them. Understood or not? So there was a war between the Britishers and the Burmese king. And that war was fought in the village called Yandabur. Understood? At last, the Burmese king lost the war and there was a peace treaty signed in the year, it is given in the book you see, 24 February 1826. The peace treaty was signed 24 February 1826. That treaty came to be known as the Yandabur Treaty. This is the whole story of the Yandabur Treaty. Okay? Did you understand? Now, after Yandabur Treaty means got signed, the areas of the Assam was directly controlled by the Queen. Means the home rule came. Understood or not? Means Queen will be ruling us directly from the England. Now the home rule came. There was a proclamation. What is proclamation? You can write the word. The meaning of the proclamation is an official announcement. Okay? There was a proclamation, there was an official announcement. You know that the Rajas and the Maharajas, when used to send some proclamation, they used to do that suno, aaj ki, that something they used to do na, the same time. That there was a proclamation that the Queen is going to rule the part of Assam and the whole area is under their control. Understood or not? So after this proclamation, the whole part of the Assam state came under the control of the Britishers. For this reason, you will get in the chapter number 5, in the last chapter, that is Culture Heritage of Assam. Who is the, one question is there, you will get this question, that who is the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Assam. You will think that this question is wrong, but no, this question is not wrong. The Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Assam is Lokpriya Gopinath Bortolai. Now you think that you will ask me, sir, why it is Prime Minister, then it should be the Chief Minister first. No. Before the Yandabu Treaty was signed, the areas of the Assam were considered as this, you can say, country. If you think, if this war was not fought between the Britishers and the Yandabu Treaty would not be signed, this part of Assam would be a country. For this reason, it is called the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Assam. Okay? So you get this question now, your doubt is clear. As the, you see, proclamation came, Queen's proclamation came, there was the introduction of the English education. English as a means of education. The newly Britishers who came to Assam, they introduced what? English as a means of language in the Assamese school. But do you think that the Britishers came and ruling to us? No. They sent some officers, the ICS officers, Indian Civil Service officers, to rule us. And who were the ICS officers? The Bengali Mahajans were the ICS officers, the Bengali person. When the Bengali person came and became the ICS officer and took the control over this Assam area, what happened? They brought the introduction of the Bengali language. When they brought the introduction of the Bengali language, then the Assamese people thought, what will be our condition? What will be our introduction? If our language will be taken away by others, what will be our condition? So we should fight a war, means we should protest. The Bengali language should not be taught in the Assam, in the areas of Assam. We should protest it. Understood or not? So the protest came. So you see, as we are doing protest that the Bengali should not be taught in the schools of Assam, then the students who are going, who went to study in the Presidency College of Bengal from Assam to take the higher education, they were humiliated. They were insulted. They were insulted by the press. The press raised various questions. Your Assam do not have the higher education. Why you came here? You want Bengali? You want Assamese in your school, in your land? So why you came here? So somewhere the Assamese students were feeling that shame for it. For this reason, they formed the association, a group of the people. They thought that if we stay alone, what will happen? Then the press and the people of the Bengal will humiliate us, will insult us. So we will stay together in a group. So they cannot do anything. And this group was of, you can say, that Jagannath Borua, Manik Chandra Borua, they were in this. Okay? And that group came to be known as the Asamiya Bhaka Unnati Hadini, that is ABUS. Did you understand? Already I have started the teaching of ABUS, okay? Don't be in dream. The ABUS has already got started. The Asamiya Bhaka Unnati Hadini Hava has already got started. So you understood that how ABUS came? Yes or no? How ABUS came? Now consequently, there was a, means you can say various editors of the ABUS were there. And now you see what happened, we should get the concept of our chapters. Yes or no? Like how I told you. As the Asamiya Bhaka Unnati Hadini Hava came into existence, they pressurized that they should also form the Sahitya Sabha. The literature part also should be formed. Yes or no? As we have our Assam Sahitya Sabha. Yes or no? As there was a several Assamese people was there. Now, what was the work of the ABUS? If I ask you question, what was the main intention of forming the ABUS? অসমীয়া ভাষা উন্নতি সাধিনী হবা. These questions may come that what is the intention behind forming ABUS. Okay, in short, if I say the main intention of ABUS was that to stabilize the base of the Assamese language in Assam. The introduction of Assamese language should be there. The means of communication should be there. The Assamese should have their own literature. But do you think that the Britishers will allow very nicely to us to introduce our own language? Somewhere they will create a problem. Yes or no? As we know, they are already there to create a problem. The Britishers has granted the permission to teach the Assamese language in the land of Assam, remove the Bengali language. But the Britishers were not knowing that the Assamese language literature part we do not have anything to teach that time. Now we have so many things to learn, but that time nothing was there. Okay, that time nothing was there, and Hemchandra Borua was raised question that what you are going to teach in the I have, like Britishers told, I have given in your land you can teach Assamese language. The Britishers told, but what you are going to teach? Understood or not? Now Hemchandra Borua also thought, yes, though they are humiliating us, this is the right question. What they are going to teach in the Assamese as a means of language. So Hemchandra Borua immediately has written Hemkosh, the dictionary, Assamese dictionary. The first Assamese dictionary was introduced, Hemkosh. When this first Assamese dictionary came into the introduction, Hemchandra Borua has taught various persons. He called a meeting and he has taught, like I am teaching you about the history. He also came and taught about the, you can say, how to read the Hemkosh. Now this person spread to the another locations, various districts, like the districts of, you can say, it is written that Dibrugarh, Sibsagar, Nagaon, Golaghat, Barpeta, Gwalpara, Jorhat and Guwahati. When they went to these districts and they has taught the various students, and now the students came to know the introduction of the Hemkosh is there. As like Gautam Buddha, you know na? Gautam Buddha were having 3 disciples. 3 person he taught about the Gyan. Then this Gyan spread to the another location by that 3 followers. Same like that incident. So the introduction of the Hemkosh came to us. Now, after the introduction of the Hemkosh, you can say there was a publication of the journal name. Now people came to know about Hemkosh, that Assamese dictionary. They read the Assamese dictionary, they came to know about the Assamese dictionary. Now you can ask the question that where was Hemkosh translated? The Hemkosh was translated from Sanskrit to the Assamese language. Okay? From the Sanskrit to Assamese language it was translated. You know that the Sanskrit language is very tough. Yes? It is very tough to understand in the normal way. For this reason the Assamese to the Sanskrit it was translated, and from the it was taught to us. Okay? So the introduction, you can say that the introduction of the Hemkosh brought the introduction of the literature. Later on Jonaki was written. It was a journal, literature. Yes, it was a journal. It was a magazine. Now you will ask me what is Jonaki. Jonaki is a, you can say that whatever has become with us, whatever has happened with the Assamese people. You know that all the incident, whatever happened, the Britishers what they has done with us. In that magazine, all that were written. It was a mouthpiece of ABUS. Now, what you will ask me questions of what is mouthpiece. Now, what is mouthpiece? It was a part of ABUS. It came from ABUS. When the Asamiya Bhaka Unnati Hadini was part. And who was the editor of the Jonaki? Chandra Kumar Agarwala was the editor of the Jonaki. And the editor of the Jonaki, Chandra Kumar Agarwala, when edited Jonaki, told that this Jonaki has released on the view that to conflict or not creating any negativity in the among the Britishers and the Indians. Understood or not? He told. But when he told this statement, do you think that he told the right thing, that it will not create the negativity in the mind of Assamese people and the Indians? According to me, no. By reading Jonaki, people will get negativity. That what Britishers, what they are doing. But Chandrakumar Agarwala told what? That not to create any negativity of the Britishers. The Britishers are good with us. But in the really, people are creating negativity of the against the Britishers. Somewhere it was helping us to chase away the Britishers from our land. Understood or not? So our Jonaki is over. So next we will go what? Assam Chhatra Sammelan. So as the Jonaki is over now, the Assam Chhatra Sammelan. Now what is the present name of the Assam Chhatra Sammelan? You know about the Assam Chhatra Samstha? ASHU? ASHU you know na? Not that ASU, okay. I am saying about ASU, the Students Union. Okay? All Assam Students Union, I am saying. ASU. So this ASU presently, which is we know today, this were before Assam Chhatra Sammelan. Okay? Did you understand? And what was the chief objective of this Assam Chhatra Sammelan? The chief objective of the Assam Chhatra Sammelan was to enrich the mother tongue by the contributing towards the development and the preservation. Means what? That the Assamese importance of the Assamese language should be there. As we know that in the land of Assam, presently it is very compulsory to know the Assamese language. Presently I am saying what we got today. But we should thank to this kind of, you can say, association that has got the importance of the Assamese language in the land of Assam. Otherwise, the Assamese language was not so important during that time. Okay? Now you are learning as a MIL in Assamese. It is very compulsory language. It is required to be learned. And because of this associations. And not only this association, there are various associations. Even our government is also thinking to give Assamese as a means of education to us. Okay? Now the growth of the Assamese nationalism was there. As the growth of the Assamese nationalism was there, there was the founder secretary of the Assam Chhatra Sammelan was, who was that? Was Chandranath Sharma. Okay? Chandranath Sharma was the founder secretary of this, and there was very eminent personalities among the Assam Chhatra Sammelan, and they were Lakshminath Besbarua, Padmanath Gohain Borua, Acharya Prafulla Chandra Rai, and the Krishna Kanta Handy. And you heard about this KK Handy? No? How many of you heard about KK Handy? There is a college in Guwahati, Pathshala, and also there is a distance education named KK Handy Cobham University. So now you will come to know who is he. He was a part of the, you can say, social reformer he was. He was also the part of the Assam Chhatra Samstha. Okay? Now comes the Rayotsav. Our next is what? Rayotsav. Do you want that I should start this topic? So the mouthpiece of the, you can say, Assam Chhatra Sammelan was Milan. You mark it. Let's, before starting the Rayotsav, just take one pencil or pen and write one question. What is Rayotsav? Okay? Or you write it this way. What was the reason of stabilizing Rayotsav? What was the reason of stabilizing Rayotsav? meaning of riot? What is riot? Do you know what is the meaning of riot? The meaning of the riot is an Indian peasants or tenant farmers. See, before starting to know what was the reason of stabilizing the Rayot Sabha, the meaning of the Rayot is an Indian peasants or tenant farmers. You know that the peasants who are there, yes, they had a revolt against the Britishers for the rise of the land tax, and that Sabha or association came to be known as the Rayot Sabha. Now, you can say that the peasants were having conflict between the Britishers and the local peoples. The local people also participated in it. As a result, this Rayot Sabha became very big. Okay? The idea of the Rayot Sabha is this. Now, you see, it is already given. If I read the line, I will say you to mark the underline. Just underline it. By the end of the 19th century, please see, by the end of the 19th century, Tezpur Rayot Sabha in Darang district and the Nagaon Rayot Sabha in Nagaon were stabilized. Now you underline. To resolve the problem faced by the peasant. The reason is this. Okay? To resolve the problem faced by the peasants. Rayot Sabha was stabilized. To resolve the problem faced by the peasants. Now underlining is over. Next, again we will look in the strengthening and executing the action plans of the Tezpur Rayot Sabha. Lakshmikant Borkakoti, Harvilas Agarwala, Lambodar Bora, Bhavane Charan Bhattacharya and many eminent personalities belonging to the newly organized middle class played a major role. The Rayot Sabha raised his voice against the newly introduced land settlements in the Assam by the colonial state. Now you see again you underline. He demanded for the abolition. Of raising tax. Underline it. He demanded for the abolition of raising tax, reduction of land tax, and to ban the migration of peasants from the East Bengal. So where is it? It is there. You cut and write the Rayot Sabha. Rayot Sabha, what were the demands raised by the Rayot Sabha? The demands that were raised by the Rayot Sabha was to abolish the raising land tax, reduction of the land tax, and to ban the migration of the peasants from the East Bengal. These points you can write, these lines you can write in the point wise. Yes or no? So how many points you got there? There is a 1, 2, 3. 3 points are there. Okay? These 3 points you can write in 3, and you can also, if you want, in a short you can describe. Okay? So in